McGoldrick, Policy and Research Manager at the Climate Institute. Well, today saw the Cancun Climate Summit officially kick off. We saw negotiators out there mapping out their key priorities for the next 2 weeks. While there's obviously some key points of differences and some tensions within the negotiations, parties emphasised the need to show flexibility over the next 2 weeks and to try and strike the balanced package of outcomes in Cancun. And that was quite promising, that it seems the countries are at least on the same page as to where they're heading in Cancun, which is a good way to start the meeting. However, it became apparent throughout listening to countries' interventions today that two critical issues are going to need to be resolved here in order to unlock that full balanced package of outcomes in Cancun, which obviously covers things like finance, deforestation and technology cooperation and other issues. The first is mitigation commitments from all countries. Now, there's a push here in Cancun to formally recognise and inscribe the commitments and targets that were made, pledged in Copenhagen last year, into a formal UN decision. And I think that's a really important step forward. However, it's not all that needs to be achieved here in Cancun. What also needs to be achieved is to ensure that we lock in a process for reviewing the aggregate and overall impact on the climate of those targets, and to acknowledge the fact that those commitments that are currently on the table are inconsistent with avoiding dangerous climate change. And that's an issue and a point that was made several times by developing countries, including Pacific Island countries, and it's an important issue that's going to need to be acknowledged here in Cancun. The second key sticking point that became apparent today is this issue around transparency around those targets, and ensuring that each country can feel confident that the commitments that other countries are putting on the table are actually being met. And that includes international accounting rules, international reporting provisions, and also revisions for review of actions that countries are taking. Now, this is a key issue, and it's a point of tension between certain countries, including the US and China, but it's one that's critical not only for achieving the political objectives of some countries, but also for the climate as a whole. We need a transparent and accountable system to ensure that the climate is actually benefiting from the targets that countries put on the table. Thanks.